Hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Whew, I'm starting to make a habit out of this 905 stuff, aren't I? I tell you what, I'm just gonna change the lives to 905 every Wednesday night. So that's just what's gonna happen. Welcome to another Wired for Crappie Live, guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. It is not changing to 9:05. It's just I can't ever get here for the last couple weeks until 5 after 9. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna be late, but we're gonna have a good show. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. Got some good things to talk about, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being with me tonight, guys. Don't forget. Give me a comment. Say hello. Let me know where you're from. If this is your first time on the live, please, please, please tell me hello. Drop me a comment. Use that comment section, guys. That's what it's there for. It's for you guys to ask questions and for me to help answer those questions. So I really want to get back into a lot of technical stuff. I pride myself in being very technical in the crappie fishing, very detail oriented and technical with my fishing. So guys, ask me questions. I want to hear what you guys have. Okay. Are you thinking about getting a new trolling motor? Are you looking at different units for your boat? Do you have questions about certain baits and presentations? Ask me those questions. That's what I'm here for. That's what this is about. Okay. For you guys to take advantage of that comment section and let me answer some of those questions for you. Okay. So please drop me a comment. Let me know, first of all, where you're from. Tell me hello. I'll tell you hello back. And then also put those questions in there, guys. Let me answer some of those for you guys, okay? So let's see here. Let me get my discount codes rolling. Boom, discount codes for the channel, guys. Crappie Cove, 10% off with the discount code WIRED. 10% off your fishing specialties equipment, your Livescope equipment, and also mounts. They have mounts as well. Wired, 10% off there. And then stowaway mounts for your extending, telescoping, Livescope mounts in the front of the boat. 10% off there. Wired. Check them out, guys. Go save yourself some money. Those are the products that I use in my boat, and they do me very well. Not only recreational fishing, but on the tournament trails, they do me well. Okay, guys. Being a tournament crappie angler, I want stuff that is going to last. I want stuff that's going to work flawlessly, and those products do. Okay, the products that they sell at Crappie Cove, the fishing specialties pole, and the stowaway mounts work flawlessly, guys. So look those up, save you some money. Use those discount codes. Okay, guys, that's what they're there for. Let's see. Let's go back here. Who all do we have on this evening? Josh Sanders. He said, about time you gave me something to do tonight. Good evening. Good evening. Tom A. from Pennsylvania. Driving to work. Well, I'm sorry about that, Tom. I just got done working, so I'm coming off work. You're going on work, but I hope you have a good evening at work, Tom, up there in PA. Jimmy Pratt. Hello, hello. Oh, I got the hiccups. All right, Joseph Thaxton from Macon. Alan Wetzel, what's going on, guys? Big O, what's going on from Clarks Hill? Mike Morrison from Clarks Hill. Got a couple Clarks Hill guys on tonight. Todd Pell, hello, Matt. What's going on, Todd? Crappie Kev from Ashburn, Virginia. What's going on, buddy? Terry Gear, what's going on from Middle Tennessee? Scott Winkler, hello, hello, from Westchester, Ohio. Looking forward to the chat. Yes, sir, me too. Ronnie Harris, from Carrollton, Georgia. Tried to get the Carrollton out before I got your name out. I apologize. Ronnie Harris, what's going on? Tyler from Arizona, what's up? What's up? He says, what's up from Arizona? Daryl from Whitwell, Tennessee. What's going on, Daryl? Dog Talk. What's going on? Hello, hello. David Moyer. What's going on, David? Harvey T from Cynthia, Kentucky. So we got an Alabama and a Kentucky. Another Kentucky guy there. Blaine, what's going on? Ashley Coffee. Hello, hello. What's up? What's up? Jody Gazaway. What's going on, Jody? Brad Crawford, hello to you, sir, too, from Indiana. Paul from Chattanooga, what's going on? TC2 Cool from Ohio, what's going on up in Ohio? Guys, that's where my boat came out of. My boat came out of Ohio. I'll tell you what, Solomon Ott, what's going on? Where'd TC go? TC, how close are you to Fredericktown, Ohio? That's where my boat came out of. It's Fredericktown. I drove all the way to Fredericktown. I made 2 trips up there to get that joker. And it is a long haul for me to Fredericktown. And Fredericktown's about that big. So not very big, but it was a nice drive. Saw some huge deer. My goodness, I saw some big deer heading up there. But it was a blast. Had a good trip. A couple trips to get old Margie there. So that's where my 690 came out of. Romero Davis, what's going on from Texas? Junebug, hello from Bama. Hello, he says. Hello from Bama. That's that Bama slang. Hello. Did I get it right? I think I did. Hello. That's fun to say. Hello. Let's see. Brandon Atkins, what's going on from Clinton? Solomon Ott from Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. Hello, hello. And Jamie Nelson from West Kentucky. What's going on? All right, guys. So like I said earlier, please, if you have questions, because I always get questions after the live. I always get questions. If you have questions about anything fishing, okay, it doesn't just have to be crappie related, electronics, trolling motors, rods, baits, reels. If y'all have any questions, there's no such thing as a stupid question. The only one that's stupid is the one you don't ask me. So if you have a question, put it in the comments. I would love to answer everyone's questions tonight. That's what I'm here for. That's why I do this. If you have questions about mapping cards, if you have questions about carpet in your boat, if you have questions about seats, where do you get aftermarket seats? What are the best ones? Hit me with some of these questions, guys. Trailer brakes, trailer bearings, anything, motor related, any questions, please ask. Okay. If I don't know an honest answer to it, I'll tell you I don't know an honest answer. Josh Sanders just asked a question. Josh, I don't have an honest answer. Yeah, let me throw his question up there. He said, where's the biggest fish located on, let's say, Fort Loudon Lake? I don't have an answer for that, Josh. I really don't. I really don't have an answer for that. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you right now. I'll tell you in 2 weeks after the East Tennessee Crappie Club tournament on Fort Loudon. But I'm not telling you right now because I'm still I'm getting back in that tournament swing. I'm getting ready, going after another one of these bad boys right here. Going after another one of them Angler of the Year titles, my friend. So I can't divulge all my secrets. We gotta continue to press forward. Now, you want to know where the biggest fish are on Chick right now? I'd be more than happy to tell you, but I ain't gonna tell you on loud. Anyway, TC says 70 miles from me. I'm Grove City. All right. So you're up there around Fredericktown. You're not too far off. About an hour, I guess, right? 70 miles. So if you're running 70 mile an hour, it's an hour from you. But no, you're not too far away from Fredericktown. So I know where you're at, TC. I've been there, been that way. All right, Junebug says, I've heard jig size is more important than jig color. What's your opinion? I would agree to disagree on that one, Junebug. I'm not gonna say that size is more important than color. What I will say is, if you're trying to fool a crappie, okay, and it's really not hard. I mean, crappie are opportunistic eaters. If you put something in front of their face, most of the time they're going to eat it if they're at all hungry, okay? But I would say they're probably equally important, but not necessarily more important, okay? Why are they equally important? So here's where I'm going to get, guys, I'm technical, I'm detail-oriented. We're going to jump into it, all right? It's important to match the hatch. All right. I know you guys have heard that before. And I know you guys you may understand that, you may, struggle understanding that, but the match the hatch phrase is basically referring to mimicking the size of the bait that the fish are feeding on that particular time of year. So let's say, fish are feeding, because I have this laying around, fish are feeding on shad that are the size of that chapstick tube. All right. Then it's important to, if you're trying to fool fish, it's important to have something that's going to be similar size. Now, color. Let's talk color, and vice versa. Okay, if if they're feeding on, they probably wouldn't, but if they're feeding on shad as long as that pencil, then okay, need something as long as a pencil. Most of the time, your crappie, you're not going to feed on something that large. Can you catch crappie on something that large? Yes. But most of the time, they're not going to feed on something as long as a pin. Most of your go-to baits, or most of my go-to baits, are 1 3/4 to a 2-inch bait is what I prefer. I don't fool with a whole lot of 3-inch baits, Junebug. I stick to that 1 3/4 to 2-inch. That's kind of my bread and butter. And I will sometimes go to 1.5 inch bait in the summer, if, they're finicky, that sort of thing. But for the most part, I stay in that 1 3/4 to 2 1/4 inch range. But it's important to match that size, guys, because that plays a role in trying to fool those fish. A lot of times, if you're fishing a brush pile and you get a wave of bait or a ball of bait that comes in, it's like you can't get a bite, and then that bait will leave and you start getting bit again. Has anybody ever seen that? So if you're on a brush pile, you're catching fish, bait moves in, they stop biting, then the bait moves out, you start catching fish again. Everybody says, well, they couldn't see my bait because there's so much, they couldn't see my bait because there was so much bait down there. Well, it could be that they're used to feeding on that 1 3/4 shad that just came in. You're using that 3-inch bait to where you were getting bites when nothing else was around, but now you're not getting bites because they're back on natural forage that they've seen all the time. So it's important to match the size of the bait that they're foraging on that specific time of year. Color, everybody knows. If you don't know by now, if you're new, this is the first time you heard this. I'm not a big believer in color, okay? As a standalone, I'm not a big believer in color being blue. Crappie love blue. Crappie love pink. Crappie love chartreuse. I'm a believer in contrast, okay? So depending on your water clarity and your visibility in that water or at depth of where those crappie are, I believe in contrasting the water. So if you're in lakes like we have here in East Tennessee and they're clear water lakes, you don't want something that's pink and just going to stand out in that water column because it doesn't look natural to those fish. You want something that's going to blend more into the water column that they're still going to be able to see when you get within 12 to 14 inches of those fish or 2 feet of those fish. They're still going to be able to pick it out because it's got enough contrast to it that it stands out in the water, but it doesn't have enough contrast to where it just goes boom, and it's like a headlight dropping down out of the clouds, to us. That's how I relate to it. If I'm standing outside looking up and a street light starts coming out of the clouds down to me, I'm like, that ain't natural, but if something as subtle as a leaf falling out of the sky, hey, there's a leaf falling out of the sky, it doesn't startle you. And as a fish, when they see that coming down and they go, okay, there's something, that's a minnow, and they react to where, I've done it. I've thrown orange in East Tennessee, and when fish see it, they run. And I'm talking, you can watch them on the Livescope turn around and bolt because it's just not natural. So I believe in contrasting your water. I don't necessarily believe in color as a standalone. And then I would match, what the fish are generally feeding on. Okay. So to say that it's more important, I don't think so. I would say they're equally important to match what the fish are used to seeing. Now, I hope that helps. That's the technical side on me. So I talked about that for quite a minute, but that's how my brain works. So that's what I think when I go to the lake. I'm looking at the water clarities. I'm looking at what depth I'm fishing. If I'm fishing 25 feet down, I know it's dark 25 feet down. There's not much light penetration, so I need something that's going to stand out. I need something that's going to contrast a little darker water. So, those are all things. If I'm fishing 3 feet down off the surface, then I'm going to want something very translucent because there's a lot of light. I want something that's got a lot of shimmer to it. I want something that's got some flash. And I want something that's going to blend into the water a little better because, light penetrates 3 feet down in our lakes pretty well. I mean, you can just about see 3 feet down, or you can, not just about. You can see a jig. I mean, you can take a clear jig and put it 3 feet down in our lakes and still see it. So, all that plays a role into my process for bait and size. Okay. All right, real quick. We got about 70 people on. Is Heidi on? I know Heidi's going to ask if she's on. Hey, there's Heidi. Hey, Heidi. She says, hi there, Matt from Idaho. What's going on, Heidi? So Heidi has not asked yet, but Heidi normally asks how Laura is. Update on Laura. Laura's good. Wired Baby is good. Everyone is doing well. However, it has been a weird week for us. Okay. So my oldest son is in, obviously, well, both my kids now are in school, and my oldest son got sick last week late and tested positive. So we have been on lockdown, and that's why you guys probably haven't seen much from me. Last week, I have been a little busy. We've been a little busy at home, trying to do what we needed to do to keep everybody safe. So everything is what appears now to be pretty good. There is no other issues as far as my oldest has turned. I mean, he basically had a fever for 5 hours, and that was it, pretty much. It was gone after that. I mean, he hadn't sneezed, hadn't coughed, hadn't anything really much. So, or not at all. So he's kind of like, I'm ready to go outside. Why can I not go outside? So, but everybody else here is good. We have not had any symptoms. We are okay. Everyone here is okay. If you would keep us in your prayers, we would appreciate that. I think we have about 4 days left to be, here. And then we can go back to normal living. So my youngest actually was cleared to go back to school tomorrow because he went today and had a test, and it was negative. So he's good to go back to school tomorrow. I myself went and had a test. Still waiting on results for that. But as you can tell, I don't have any kind of symptoms. So we're blessed. We're very thankful for that. And we're just trying to do what we need to do to keep mom safe, because mom is the one that we're worried about. She's got little wired that's growing, and we're trying to keep everything kind of on an even keel there. So, but any prayers, guys, would be very helpful. Keep us in your thoughts, keep us in your prayers. Like I said, everyone is good. Literally in 5 hours, it was, with my oldest, it was gone. I mean, it was literally gone. No runny nose, no fever. I mean, it went from fever and runny nose to nothing in 5 hours. So, and the only reason we took him is because he had a runny nose and a fever. So it was like, okay, we got to make sure everything's cool. And yeah, it wasn't. So anyway, long story short, everybody's good, but please keep us in your thoughts and prayers. And I would appreciate that if you guys would do that. Okay. Because right now, my main concern is mama and little wired. Okay. So Moving on, I'm gonna move away from that subject. No more bad news. But where we at? Where we at? Where we at? I need to look. Hey, here's a good question. What's your thoughts on Hummingbird Mega Live versus Livescope? So I actually did a whole live on this a while back, and I love this competition that's coming in. I really do. I absolutely. Hang on one second, guys. Let me plug my computer in. I noticed it's not on, or it's unplugged. Hang on. All right, sorry about that. Just noticed my computer was unplugged. I don't want to lose you guys. Okay, so I love this conversation. I absolutely love this conversation. I love that there's competition coming into this market because literally Livescope has had this market cornered for what, 2 years, 3 years? I don't exactly know to the day, but it's been years that Livescope has had this market, this live imaging market cornered, and you have not seen, I have not seen, nobody has seen any decrease in price to the Livescope units because there's simply not been competition in the market, and they just rode it. I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, honestly, I think there was some discounts offered here and there. Some of the older units, they discounted those, but the Livescope unit itself, the black box and the transducer for the Livescope has not wavered in price since it came out. And finding a deal on that unit, the box and the transducer, was pretty much, you can't. So unless you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody and they can do something. But yeah, the thing that I struggle with now, and to your question, my thoughts on the Hummingbird Live versus Livescope, unfortunately, Hummingbird has the beginning stages figured out, but they don't have it yet. Okay. They don't have the definition and the clarity that Livescope has. I wish that was different. I really do. I really wish that they had something comparable that'll help drive some costs down, and it's just not there, in my opinion. So I've seen the Hummingbird. It works great in open water, just isolated open water fish. It works good. But once you get in there on that structure and on that brush, it really doesn't give you the clarity and definition that you need to be able to see individual fish inside of brush like Livescope. Livescope, I can look at a brush pile and I can tell you how many fish are inside of that brush pile. Okay. It just doesn't give you that ability yet. Will they get there? Yes. Do they have it? No, not yet. They do have technology that works. It does. You can, if you were a bass fisherman and you were fishing offshore ledges, fishing, that shallow water frog and stuff, obviously it's not gonna do you any good, either one of them. But if you're a bass fisherman that fishes offshore, a walleye guy, something that you're not really fishing structure, you're fishing just open water and you're looking for fish in open water, and crappie too. I mean, you've seen, guys, everybody's seen that open water crappie, you can catch a lot of big fish in open water. But there's still a time and a place for docks and for brush piles for crappie. Be honest with you, I mean, we fished open water fish last year and won some tournaments, but we've won a lot of tournaments off brush piles and docks. I mean, there's still a place for those structures, and I would not sacrifice yet the Livescope for the Hummingbird. Okay, that's just my personal opinion and what I've seen. All right. Paul says, I fish Chickamauga. Where the big crappie at? Not on the docks. If you want to go take a kid fishing or take somebody fishing and catch a bunch of fish, go fish docks. If you don't, you want to catch big fish, go to brush. Get offshore, go find structure. You cannot do it on docks. Now, will you go catch some big fish on docks one here, one there? Sure. Could you pull up on a dock and catch 3 or 4? Sure. But are you going to consistently catch big fish on docks? No, because they are getting hammered. They're getting beat to death down there. And there's a lot of fish on them. A lot. I mean, golly at the fish that's on docks down there. But the bigger fish are starting to orientate themselves to offshore structure down there. It didn't used to be that way. It did not used to be that way, but there's such a huge population of small fish down there right now that they get on that hidden, or not hidden, but they get on that structure and get in that shade underneath those docks, and they just, it's like the small fish just flock to those docks. And I honestly, from what I've always seen, big fish will not relate to small fish. Big fish are loners. They want to be somewhere by themselves. They may group up 2, 3, 4 at a time, but for the most part, they're loners, and they're going to go where all those other fish aren't. So get off the docks. Unless you just want to go have a good day and catch 100 fish. You want to go catch 100 fish and take home 15, you can do it on docks. But get offshore, get on some structure for sure. And Paul, that could all flip. I mean, once it starts getting cold, that could change. But right now, I'd be on structure. Tyler, very, very good question. Best tip on finding crappie that are holding to the bottom. Very hard for me to find them on Livescope. Any tips? Yes, absolutely I do. Fish that are on the bottom. There was several tournaments last year, we'll say a couple. There's a couple tournaments last year that we fished in that we literally caught fish on the bottom of the lake. I mean, mud on their bellies on the bottom. And that was the same question we got at the weigh-in when we told everybody we caught fish on the bottom. I mean, you'd let the jig fall to the bottom of the lake and bounce it. And you'd bounce it, and when it came up, you'd see a fish follow. And it'd fall back down. That fish would go back down. You'd bounce it, and he'd come up, and he'd hit it. So we were literally bottom bouncing in several tournaments, and won both of the tournaments that we did that in, honestly. So the thing about finding fish on the bottom, okay, there is a bottom contour that you can turn on your Livescope that will actually change it actually changes the bottom of the lake to a different color. So if you're running orange, it actually turns it kind of a orangish brown. So the bottom of the lake will actually change colors, and you can see fish at that point sitting on the bottom of the lake. That's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is put a jig down there, really. What we would find is we were finding that those fish were relating to structure, but they were off to the side or right in front of the structure. If we're sitting there looking at it with our Livescope right in front of the structure, we'd let a jig fall down just beside the brush pile and bounce it on the way back, and it'd take 2 or 3 bounces and you'd see them come up. So they were relating to structure. If you suspect that those fish are on the bottom, if there's a huge pressure change, if there's a cold front, something of that nature that you just kind of red flags you to think, okay, those fish are going to push to the bottom. If there's a lot of lightning, okay, if it rains the night before you go fishing and there's a lot of lightning, crappie hate lightning. They will go to the bottom of the lake like that to get away from lightning. So if there's some change in the environment and you suspect that those fish are on the bottom, you can try that with your Livescope, or you can just fish it, okay? We found both of the patterns on the bottom the days that we fished. We knew that fish were going to go deeper, but we found them on the bottom just by trying to just bouncing the bottom. I mean, just letting a jig fall the bottom and bouncing it, and you'd see them come up. So there's not an exact science to it, but those are a couple of things that you can do that'll help, okay? Kenny Sparks says, good evening. Good evening, Kenny. Kenny says, I'm from Red Bay, Alabama. I thought I had turned to the corner with single poling with Livescope in standing timber. This past Saturday hurt my feelings and humbled me mightily. I'm assuming you had a bad day, Kenny. I don't know where you were fishing, well, I know how you were fishing. You were live scoping in timber. One thing that I've learned, Kenny, is to adapt on the fly. Okay. That's the one thing, and I'm going to hide this so you're not covering my chin there, Kenny. But one thing that I have always, I guess, prided myself in is being able to adapt on the fly in the moment. Okay. So if something like that were to happen to me, and I'm just going to give you a scenario of what I would do if that were to happen to me. If I was constantly or continuously catching fish in standing timber, okay, and then I went out one day and began to be humbled, all right, then the first thing I would do is I would change my depth. I would look, first of all, I'd ask myself, what has changed, okay? I'd look at my water temperatures. All right. If the water temp has changed more than 5 degrees, if it's gotten hotter, I'm going deeper. If it's gotten colder, I'm going shallower. All right. So then I'm going to go look for deeper structure, standing timber, deeper. I'm going to look for standing timber, shallower. If that doesn't work, that's when I'm pulling off standing timber altogether. I'm going to stay adjacent to that standing timber. Fish will move, but they won't move far, okay? A lot of times, fish will move a matter of 100 yards, all right? So where there's fish today, may not be fish tomorrow. Everybody knows that. Everybody's heard that. But I'm going to stay somewhere adjacent to that standing timber, and I'm going to start looking for open water fish. Why am I going to start looking for open water fish? Well, if Alabama is anything, if Red Bay, Alabama is anything like Tennessee, last week, we got some cooler weather. We started getting some 60-degree mornings, okay? And it cooled our water temps off up here almost 10 degrees. I mean, it was like 89 when I was on the lake last, and then my partner was on the lake last weekend, as I wasn't, obviously. But my partner was on the lake last weekend, and he called and he's like, hey, it's down to like 79, 80 degrees. That's a 10-degree swing in temperature. What I would suspect, Kenny, is you had a cooling in that lake over the last week, and Saturday you got there, the water temps had cooled off, those fish had pulled off timber, moved out to flats to feed, okay? When that water starts cooling off, guys, the first cool front, I'm not going to call it a cold front, but the first cool front you have, like right now, we're going to get into fall fishing, okay? I love fall fishing. My favorite time of year to fish, other than summer. Well, any time of year is my favorite time of year to fish, but summer is probably my first, and then fall is a close second. All right, so the first cool front that you have, guys, the bait fish are going to start pushing back. They're going to start pushing back, okay? When you have that cold front, they're going to start pushing back. And when the bait push back, the crappie are moving back with them. So, Kenny, if you were fishing Main River and you were catching fish on timber, you got a little cool front that come through last week like we did, those fish are probably pushing back. They'll probably come off that stuff. They're following the bait. Okay? Fish aren't dumb. They're going to be hungry. They know they're going to be hungry, so they're going to go with the food. All right? So be prepared for that. They're coming, but you got to adapt. If I'm there, it's a couple hours, and I'm dead in the water, not catching fish, I'm changing. I'm going to something else. I'm not sticking around to see if I can catch fish where there's no fish. I'm going to find fish. All right. So that's a couple things that, I just come to my mind by reading your statement. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't even know what lake you were on, but I would think that's probably some of what happened. Broderick, what's up, man? What's going on? Heidi, how's Laura? Like I said, Laura is well. Laura is doing well. She is still good. Like I said, my youngest was tested today. He's negative. I'm waiting on my test, which I'm going to assume is negative because I've been in my little one's face for the last week and playing and all that good stuff. And He is, so I'm assuming I am, and I'm assuming she is as well because she's right there with us and she is okay. So right now it just seems like an isolated incident. It seems like an isolated case there, and I think everybody is going to be okay. Knock on wood. But prayers, please, prayers. Right now, that is not something that Mama Wired and Little Wired need at all. So, it's a scary time. It's been a scary time this week for us, and we've been okay. So, prayers, please, and thank you. All right. Broderick says, hope he gets well soon. Thank you, buddy. He's actually already well. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, he had a fever for 5 hours and it was gone. He woke up the next morning and I was like, hey, you need me to go get you some more tissues? And he's like, no. I'm like, you sure? Of course, I'm hollering at him upstairs through the door. I'm like, hey, you need more tissues? Sorry, but I'm not coming up there. Throwing his food over the banister from downstairs. Food. But no, it's he told me the next morning, he's like, no, I don't need any. I was like, well, okay. And he's like, my nose ain't running anymore. I was like, how do you feel? He's like, I feel great. I was like, are you okay? He's like, I ain't sick. I'm like, yeah, you are. You're staying up there. So, like I said, we got, I think, 3 days left, and then we're clear for takeoff. So, yeah, we're blessed for sure. I know a lot of people that haven't been that blessed, but it seems like on this incident, we're blessed. So, we're going to leave it at that. Prayers. Thank you very much. Prayers, Tommy. Prayers. Thank you. Oh, yes. I love it. I love this question. Where's my phone? I'm just going to pull this up. I love this question. Have you guys noticed that I don't have a scent sponsor? I think this is why I don't have a scent sponsor. I'd never be able to get anybody with scents to give me anything. I swear I wouldn't, but that's okay. That's fine. I mean, I don't need a scent sponsor because I don't use scents. So what about scents for crappie? Do you think they are helpful? Okay. Junebug, look, I am not going to sit here and bash a scent. Any company, anything that they put out, I'm not going to sit here and bash scents. What I am going to say, and there will be someone on the live tonight that says nibbles work. Granted, they work. Got it. Understand. 100%. No doubt in my mind. Okay. But they work because they're colored and because they add profile to your jig. My opinion. This is opinion, guys. Don't shoot me down when I'm preaching good, okay? Don't be mean. Don't get nasty with me. I believe they work because they add profile to your jig and they have color. They contrast. It's a different color, a contrasting color, okay? What I will tell you is, where's my playlist? Where's my videos? There we go. I don't even know how to get to my own videos. Ain't that sad? All right. So what I will tell you, all right, is if you go watch this video right here, let's see if I can get it to work. Do they really work? Crappie nibbles and scents. Let's see. If you go watch that one video right there, okay, go watch that video. Do they really work? Crappie nibbles and scents. Let's see. That will answer your question, okay? I do not, hang on, Junebug. I got a super chat just popped up. Danny Rock. Thank you, Danny, for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate it. It's a blessing to me, a blessing to this channel. Guys, if you don't know what a super chat is, that's a way for you guys to give back to this channel. Every little bit helps keep me on the water and keep me putting out good content. I can't speak tonight. Is that a symptom? Because I can't talk. Sorry. So thank you for the super chat, Danny. I appreciate you, brother. Super chat button is right down below the comment section. I messed that up miserably, but it's right down below the comment section. The little dollar symbol. If you want to click on it, guys, and donate to the channel, you're more than welcome to do so. And every little bit helps. I appreciate you very much. Danny, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you very, very much. It's a blessing, and I appreciate it. Oh, I botched that. Something horrible. That's okay. All right, so where was I? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Junebug, where you at? You're in there somewhere. Yep, there it is. All right, so go watch that video. I'm just not a big believer in scent, my friend. I really am not. I mean, I put everything from copper tone sunblock to Mountain Dew to I hadn't tried off yet, but I need to probably try bug spray or something. Skin So Soft works really well. You can't get Skin So Soft off your hands. I'm telling you right now. You put Skin So Soft on your hands, you will leave oil marks on everything you touch for 3 days because it is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. I'm like Skin So Soft on my kids. I'm like, stand back. I'm getting my shirt up. And I'm like, stand back. I'm going to spray you. And I'm like, you know, he's like, Dad, rub it in. I ain't touching that. No. So anyway, hadn't tried that one yet, but probably need to. I need to try gas too. Somebody told me to try gas at one point. I'm going to try gas. I need to do another video with scent. I need to do Skin So Soft, gas, and give me something else. I need 3 things, guys. Give me something else. Skin So Soft, gasoline, and what else? And we'll see if we can't catch fish dipping a hair jig. That's what I did. I dipped a hair jig in all this stuff, okay? So it's not like I put a plastic jig down there and it washed off. I used hair and it soaked in. So I need to do that. Skin So Soft, gasoline, and what else? Give me a third one. Somebody's going to say beer or something probably, but give me a third one. And we'll go give her a shot, but that's my opinion on scents. I'm not a big believer in scent. All right, Tyler, very good question here. Your thoughts on going from a 93 SV to a 1222? Way better, like the knobs. First of all, love the knobs. Absolutely no problem with the knobs. Better? I'm not going to say better. I'm going to say bigger. Everything's going to be a little bit bigger to you. You're going to see things a little bit better because it's going to be bigger, but not necessarily better. You're not going to get a better picture. Let's clear this up real quick. Are you going to get a better picture? No, do not let anybody lie to you and tell you you will get a better picture. You will not get a better picture. All this, pixels that, you're not going to get a better picture, okay? I have a 1222. I used to run a 93. Is the picture better? Nah. Is it bigger? So if you have a hard time seeing, or, you know, I wear glasses. You guys don't know that because I don't ever think I've worn them on live. Maybe once. I don't know. But I wear glasses. Do I wear them? No. I don't even know where they're at. But I have an astigmatism. And I have a little bit of trouble seeing at distances. Sometimes everything kind of gets oblong and blurry and, you know, whatever. But I see up close pretty good, so I don't need them. I don't have any issues reading a 93 or a 1222. 1222, the reason I bought a 1222 and upgraded from a 93 is so my clients can see, my guide trip clients can see the screen better. I can see the screen better when I'm not standing in front of it, right? Because a lot of times I want my client standing in front of it, and I want to stand over to the side. So if I'm standing over the side or behind, and I'm trying to look beside him or over his shoulder, and I need to be able to see the screen better so I can help them catch fish, okay? You know, hey, you're not deep enough. Let your jig fall more. Open your bail. They open the bail. All right, now you're to the depth you need to be. Start reeling. And I can literally watch. Can't tell you how many times I've watched the screen and I'm like, hey, you got a fish. I didn't feel a bite. You got a fish. Jerk. And they jerk and they're like, oh, I got one. I was like, hey, yeah. So, you know, that's the reason I got the 1222. Is it better? No, I haven't seen anything that tells me it's better. Just bigger. All right. Okay. Kenneth says, if you charge your lithium battery and hobby hot fish, hobby hot. If you charge, I'm going to try to interpret this. So if you charge your lithium battery and go out to fish for a couple weeks, is it necessary to recharge it? Or do not fish. Okay, here we go. This is fun. This is like trying to interpret things right here. This is Morse code. All right, if you charge your lithium battery and do not fish for a couple of weeks, is it necessary to recharge it? Is it necessary? No. Do I? Yes. Generally, Kenneth, with the amped outdoors battery that I run, 30 amp hour, if I don't charge it for a couple weeks and then plug it in, it shows charging, and it'll show charging for about 20 minutes and then go green. Which means it's dropped a little, but it's not dropped much. 20, 30 minutes, it goes green. I go to the lake. I know it's charging because if I charged it tonight, unplugged it, and plugged it back in the morning, or say tomorrow night, it would go green instantly. As soon as I plugged it in, it would go green instantly. So I know that you will lose a little bit of charge, but is it enough to make a difference? So whether your battery dies or not on the lake? No. But I always charge mine just to be safe, okay? I like a good full battery. Nathan Wood. Nathan, where'd it go? Thank you, Nathan, for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate it very much. A blessing to this channel and a blessing to me. Thank you very much, buddy, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Oh, guys, real quick, by the way, 19th of September, okay, 19th of September, Crappie Cove is having a Crappie Academy. Yours truly is teaching that Crappie Academy, okay? You can participate in that live at Crappie Cove in Maryville, Tennessee, or you can go and participate in it on the internet. If you sign up for the Crappie Academy, then they will send you a link to go on. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the link is to Zoom. It is a Zoom meeting. They set up a Zoom meeting, and you get the link to get into the Zoom meeting, and you can participate in that class online if you want via Zoom. So if you want to look that up, go right here, crappiecove.com, crappiecove.com, go to Crappie Academy. It's September the 19th, okay? It's from 1:30 to 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 1:30 to 5 o'clock. It is a very, very in-depth class, and we're going to be going over the different techniques to catch crappie, okay? Different techniques to catch crappie. I'm going to go over all kinds of good stuff. Crankbaits, planer boards, long line trolling, pushing, power trolling. Some people call it pushing, some people call it power trolling. Spider rigging, dock shooting, vertical jigging. We're going to talk about all the different techniques, slip floats, minnows, drop shots. We're going to talk about them all, okay? So we're going to go over all the good ways and the good techniques to catch a crappie. Not just Livescope. We're not even going to talk about Livescope. We're going to talk about all the ways that you can fish for them. And then if you want to do them while you're Livescoping, that's up to you. But we're going to talk about techniques, guys. So if you don't have a Livescope, we ain't going to talk about it. We're going to tell you how to catch crappie, float, and fly. I mean, we're going to talk about all kinds of good techniques. And I'm going to show you how I do them because I've done them all. So it's been a really, really fun time in my 10 years crappie fishing, and I've tried them all. I've done them all, caught fish on them all. I'm not proficient in every single one of them. I am not a master of all. I'm not a master of any of them. I am just a guy that's done them all and loves to talk. So I'm going to show you how I do it, how I was successful doing it. Okay. And you guys can ad lib from there, but we're going to have a lot of fun in that class. And if you want to join live, I'm not going to give away what the prizes are for this. But if you're there live, guys, we are going to have a dock shooting contest, and you are going to be going up against one of the, I won't say best duck shooters, but a very good duck shooter who is, again, right here. You're going to be competing against me in a duck shooting competition for some really good prizes, okay? We're going to give away a lot of cool stuff if you're there live to those that are there live and enter the contest. You don't want to be in the contest. You don't have to be, but if you want to be in the contest, we're going to do a lot of cool stuff, give a lot of cool stuff away for the duck shooting contest. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You can go to crappiecove.com, get all the info there. You can see the cost and everything there, and you can sign up on their website. So if you want to participate in that, then get registered now, because we're only taking so many registrants. We can only take so many people in the live because the classroom's only so big, and we can only take so many people on the Zoom because we get cut off with Zoom at so many people. So get registered now. Don't wait till the last minute, because if you do, you might miss out. Okay, so get registered now. Paul, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate you very much. Again, it's a blessing to me. I thank you, sir, for the super chat. I appreciate you very much. All right. Let's see. Where was I at? I am way behind on questions. Way behind. But that's all right. We're going to stay here and just keep on trucking. All right. Let's see. Lithium battery. There we go. Oh, Danny. Hey, these MCM jigs are very nicely done. The colors are crisp. Now I have to get out there and catch a few. Yes, MCM Tackle, guys. MCM Tackle has partnered with the channel. They are giving away some really, really cool jigs. They're doing some really cool stuff with some hand ties, guys. MCM Tackle right there on Facebook. We're going to give away some more jigs tonight. All right. We're going to give away another dozen jigs to 2 lucky winners. You're going to get half a dozen apiece. We're going to give those away tonight, so don't leave, guys. Stick here until the end, because MCM Tackle right there, custom-made tackle, they do hand ties, and, man, they're priced right. Let me tell you, they are priced right. So check them out on Facebook, MCM Tackle. They will hook you up, and they will actually, if you have a color you like and they don't have it, suggest it. They may do it for you. They do custom tackle. So if you have something that they don't have a picture of on their site, ask them about it. They can hook you up. All right, Stephen Webb. Do the bigger crappies stay at the bottom of brush piles because of the shade and the smaller ones on top? Thanks. Awesome show. Thank you, Stephen, first of all. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the shows. But do the crappies stay at the bottom of the brush pile? No, not necessarily. They do not. No. Could they be underneath the smaller fish? Sure. But they could also be on top of the smaller fish. I've seen it both ways, okay? I've seen where, I pulled up to a brush pile and the biggest fish is sitting right on top. It really depends on if they're in a feeding mood or not. If they're in a feeding mood, those bigger fish are going to be sitting on top of the brush pile or out to the edge of the brush pile. If they're in a dormant kind of just blah mood, then most of the time those fish are going to be underneath everything in the brush. You're going to have to get down there in their face and agitate them to get them to bite. So it kind of depends on what kind of mood they're in. Are they going to set up that way every time? No, they're not going to set up that way every time, okay? They're going to it's going to vary from brush pile to brush pile and day by day, okay? So, but that's kind of what you're going to see, whether they're up on top or out to the edge or in the brush. That's kind of the mood they're in. Jimmy Pratt, do you ever turn trails on in appearance setting? No. I do not. Nope. No, sir. The trails, they'll just cloud up your screen, okay? So what they're going to do, Jimmy, is let's say it paints a trail. Well, now that trail is painted, and if anything comes in that trail, you're not going to be able to see it, right? So, or it's going to say you got this trail here, and you've got something coming behind there. When it goes behind there, you lose it. until it comes out the other side. So for that reason, no, I don't turn trails on. Daryl, I fish a lot with my buddy, and he has a 12-inch Lowrance Units, no Livescope, and my budget is a 7-inch Lowrance hook too. I struggle to find structure on the smaller units after getting used to the 12. Any thoughts? Absolutely. Guys, if you're running, hang on a second. Guys, for those of you, Daryl, I'm going to minimize this. For those of you running smaller units, okay, I run an HDS 10 Gen 1 and an HDS 8 Gen 1. The 8, I run my down imaging and my map, and the 10, I run just my side imaging. That's all I ever run on that unit. I've never had that unit on anything but side imaging. For those of you that are running smaller units, okay, smaller than a 10-inch, okay, well, no, not smaller than a 10-inch, smaller than a 9-inch, okay. Distance is your friend. The distance that you're looking out, Daryl, I don't know. You can answer this in a comment if you want, how far you're looking out to either side. Bring it in, okay? If you're looking at a 12-inch unit, you may be able to look at 80 feet out to either side, all right? If you're on a 7, bring it into 50 feet, 40 feet. Look 40 feet to either side. Look 50 feet to either side. Don't go above 50 feet. The further you look, the smaller the images are going to appear. The biggest thing I see for people, okay, with side imaging units, and I offer a side imaging class on the lake. If you guys hadn't or don't know that yet, I offer, if you go to wiredforcrappie.com, I actually offer a training session where I get in your boat and I go through your units and teach you how to set them up, teach you how to, what is you're seeing on the screen, what's brush, what's a drop off, what's rock, we'll go through, we'll drive across the lake for 2 hours and we'll do nothing but look at structure and set your unit up. Okay. First thing we do is we check your unit before we put the boat in to make sure that everything's good. You've got your transducers level, you've got, your power hooked up good, you've got a good ground, you've got all that things that you need to check before you get on the lake. We check those first. But anyway, I do offer that. If anybody's interested in that, you can go to wiredforcrappie.com. Go to, when you go to wiredforcrappie.com, you can click on book guide services. It's under there. All the things I offer under book guide services on my website. Click on that. You can check those out. Pricing, everything's on there. Plus my calendar's on there. You can book it right there online. It's a one-stop shop, right? So if anybody's interested in that. But Daryl, bring it in, okay? Bring it in. Don't go past 50 feet left and right. That will help you, okay, on that smaller unit. Ronnie Harris, since you're not particularly fond of the new design of the Fluger Reel, have you tried or found another you like as well? Not yet. I'm still sticking with my Tryon for right now. Have I looked at a couple different things? Yeah, I've looked at a couple different things. My partner is a President guy. He's fished with Presidents since President came out. They've done the same thing to the President. They've changed it a little bit over the years, and it's just not what it used to be. So he's looked at some other stuff too. He found a luge the other day that was pretty smooth. It's pretty nice. I don't know. I may get one and try it. See how it holds up. Me, I put reels through the ringer. I mean, I'm on them every week, and I really am abusing them. I'm hard on reels for sure. So may get a couple and try them out, see how they work, see how they hold up, but hadn't really found anything yet that I really like. So that being said, Blake Hawk at Crappie Cove tried to throw me on one reel, and I got it. I do not like it. I can tell you that right now. I'm not going to tell you the name of the reel because I'm not that way, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I absolutely can't stand it, to be honest with you. And it fits him great. He loves it. Absolutely loves it. It's his go-to reel. Is it a bad reel? No, just doesn't fit me. Doesn't feel good at all. So Good reel, just not my cup of tea. So, but I will find one, and I may end up sticking with the Try-On because I may not like change. I don't know. We're gonna find out though. All right. Do you think Hummingbird 360 would work good while using Livescope too? It does. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen several boats that they have both, and it works great. It works fine, for sure. Thumbs up if you like the info. Yeah, guys, smash the thumbs up button for me, please. I appreciate it. That just lets everybody know it's good content. You guys enjoy what's going on with Wired for Crappie and going on here. And, hey, maybe somebody will see the likes and say, hey, that guy's got a lot of likes. Click. And then they'll be part of the Wired fam. So your likes will bring people to us, and it'll bring people in. So smash that thumbs up, please. Joel Nash, hey Matt, or what's up, Matt? How do you sign up for East Tennessee Crappie Club? Joel, first thing, just show up. Show up for a tournament. Show up for a meeting, a tournament. We didn't have a whole lot of events last year because of everything that was going on, but tournament season starts this month. September the 18th. September the 18th. 19th is the Crappie Academy. 18th is our first tournament. So you guys are going to get to hear about the tournament on the 19th, those that show up to the seminar. So the way to sign up for the club, just show up, buddy. All you got to do is show up at one of the events. Come see me that morning. I'm the one that will be registering everybody. Tell me you want to sign up, and it's that easy. You just pay your membership fee, and you're good. It's $40 a year for membership, and then $40 a boat for the tournament. So come see me. I'll hook you up. We'll get you signed up, get your name and all that good business, and we'll get you going. I mean, it don't take 2 minutes. It's very, very simple, Joel. Viper, hello. I'm setting up my new ACC crappie stick. I plan on using it for casting and shooting docks. What size braid would you recommend? If you're going to shoot docks, I wouldn't recommend braid. If you're going to shoot docks, I'd recommend a mono. I'd recommend a 4-pound test mono, because shooting docks, you need that thin diameter and that stretch so that when you're shooting docks, you get your maximum distance. Okay. If you're going to fish brush with it, then I would go with a bonehead braid. That's what I use. It is a 12-pound braid. That's the bonehead B power. Okay, 12-pound, and I use it in orange. So that's what I use on my rods. And then my mono is a 4-pound vicious mono in high vis. So that's what I use, 4-pound mono vicious. That's what I use to shoot docks. All right. Crappie Cove motor oil, Vienna sausage jelly for scent. That is a new one. I have not thought about that. That's interesting. Junebug, Vienna sausage jelly. And I could have a snack while I'm eating. That might work. That might work. I may have to do that. WD-40, that's a good one. WD-40. Old Spice, man, that's a good one too. Old Spice, the spray stuff. Or we could even do the roll-on. We could do the roll-on Old Spice, like the deodorant. Just rub that joker on there, get it good mashed in. Romero might be onto something there. Hey, you guys got it going on. All right, WD-40, there's another one for it. Kenny Sparks, yes, cold front moved through and dropped water temp down to 80. I should have moved to flats. If you were here earlier in the show, there it is. Ding, 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 ding. There it is. Yep, that's it, Kenny. Those fish, the water temp dropped. The bait moved and the fish moved. That's how it works, man. That's crappie fishing 101. How's the downside views on Garmin's? Have a 1242 without transducer, thinking of ordering one. I would. They've got a great down imaging, side imaging. Let me take that back. Todd, they've got a great side imaging. Great side imaging. Down imaging, I'm used to my Lowrance on my down imaging. Nobody beats Lowrance in my opinion. Nobody. But Garmin has a great side imaging. The down imaging is good. It's just not great. But they do have a very good side imaging for sure. I've found a lot of structure with my old Garmin's, a lot. So they've got a very, very good side imaging. Ooh, very good question. If you had to choose a good all-around line, what would it be? Pound, test, type, etc. Yeah, all around. This is a toughie. A toughie. If it was an all-around line, honestly, and I was going to have one rod and reel to do everything, if let's say somebody said you can only own one rod and reel from now on for the rest of your life, one, then it would be 4-pound test vicious, high vis mono. For the because I'm going to shoot docks. I'm going to shoot docks at some point. I'm going to. It's going to happen. I'm going to do it. And I would hate to have nothing but braid to shoot docks with. I would hate it. It would be a pain. But honestly, it'd be 4-pound vicious mono for sure. Paul says, thank you for the information you provide. You're very welcome, Paul. I appreciate you very much, buddy. Thank you for your super chat. Jeff, have you ever used the TFO panfish rods? They're sweet. I have not. I stick with my ACCs, and I haven't. Nathan Wood, MCM, great customer service. Very good customer service at MCM Tackle for sure. Josh Sanders says he got his half dozen. I won last week, ordered and bought another dozen and a half. Easy order process. Fully customizable, endless color options with MCM. There you go. I mean, you can tell him I want a white tail, a blue body, and a chartreuse head, and bam, it comes to your doorstep. So fully customizable. That's a very good way of putting it, Josh. Solomon says, yes, Solomon, always. Let's keep Sarge in our thoughts, absolutely, and prayers. I'm not going to get into that. That's Sarge's business. If everybody knows what's going on with him or not, you can probably go check that out if you need to. But I'm going to stay off that because it's not me. It's not that's not me, but it's not my business to share. So I'll let Chris do that. I hadn't seen Chris on here tonight. He was on here last week, and I told him if he felt the need, he needed to tell everybody what was going on, he could. But again, I'm not going to dabble in his personal business. But yes, keep those that know Sarge, know Chris, and Sleep the Real. Keep him in your prayers. He needs prayer right now. And if you would like to know what's going on with him, you can reach out to him. Daryl said, I try to keep it at 50 to 60 feet. Bring it on in. The tighter you get that side imaging, Daryl, the larger those images or those items are going to appear. So if it's at 60 feet, if the brush pile is the size of that microchip, then at 40 feet, it may be the size of that case for that microchip. Okay. The tighter you bring that in, the larger those images are going to appear. Now, you're not going to cover as much water when you're driving back and forth, but you're going to get images that you can see. So which would you rather do? Turn around a couple more times or miss stuff because you're not seeing it, right? Okay, so bring it on in. Sucker on in there, buddy. Mike Morrison says, I know there's a lot to unpack, and it may be a question for another time. I would like to start a local crappie club. How did you go about starting East Tennessee Crappie Club? Well, hold on just a daggum minute. Where are you at, Mike? Let me go look back and see. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Mike, this is a very loaded question. You're going to get a very weird answer from me on it, though. Okay. So, for those that don't know, I'm president of East Tennessee Crappie Club. I started East Tennessee Crappie Club 7-8 years ago. I went with my uncle. We were on a crappie trip fishing out at Reelfoot, and they had a crappie tournament out there. Captain Coleman won it, and I said, can we go to that weigh-in? Because I've never seen a crappie tournament before. I'd like to see what a crappie tournament is. Can we go to the weigh-in? And he's like, yeah, sure. We'll go get lunch, and then we'll go to the weigh-in. I was like, sweet. So we come off the lake. We went and got something to eat, and we went back to the weigh-in. So we got to the weigh-in. They had shirts out, vendors set up, all this stuff. The anglers come up and they weighed in their fish, and I thought, man, that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's, I fished bass tournaments, but to see a crappie tournament happen was pretty cool. So I didn't even know they had crappie tournaments. I thought it was just, you go out and catch some fish to eat and go home. I said, that was pretty cool. So we went back fishing. So on the way home, we're driving home 7 hours, 8 hours, whatever it is. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to start a crappie club. He said, you're going to what? I said, I'm going to start a crappie club. He said, you think you can do that? He said, you know anything about crappie clubs? I said, nope, I'm going to start one. He said, I don't know. He said, I'll tell you what. He didn't think I could do it at the time. He said, if you start one, I'll fish with you. Like, okay. So I come back and I started looking around. First of all, I looked to see if there was any clubs fishing crappie tournaments. That's a big one, Mike. Check around, try to see if you've got anybody in your area that's doing crappie tournaments, because, some people get a little bit twisted if you encroach on what they're trying to do, right? Me, I could care less. It's all for the betterment of the sport, but hey, what do I know? I checked around. There was nobody doing anything in East Tennessee. I decided I was going to start one. I actually posted in a lot of public forums and said I was going to start one. Who's interested? Very few people said they were interested, first of all. And then I really started pushing. Everywhere that I could. I put it everywhere I could. I said, I didn't ask. Here's what I would suggest to you. Don't ask who wants to be in a crappie club. Just tell people you're starting it. Okay? This is what we're doing. But before you tell people what you're doing, Mike, have a plan, have rules, have a schedule, have those things in place. Because when you get interest from people, they're going to ask those questions. And if you can't answer them, they're going to lose interest that fast. Have it ready to go. Have all your ducks in a row, everything ready, and then do it. Stand behind it. Make sure you do what you say you're going to do. That's number one. Make sure you do what you say you're going to do. Do everything that you can to keep people happy. You're never going to make everybody happy, but try to make as many people as you can happy, and then give everybody a voice. That's the biggest thing. That's the thing about East Tennessee Crappie Club is I don't run it. Okay. I'm just the guy that answers questions for people. I'm just the guy that weighs fish and checks people in. I don't run the club. The members run the club. Everybody has equal say. Every year when we get together at our banquet, if there's anything we need to talk about for the next season, we talk about it, we vote on it. I don't make decisions without voting on it. Everything is a group decision. You got to give people the ability to have a voice. Now, the majority always rules. Okay? Can't argue with that. But you got to give people a voice. You got to let them have it. And, if you can do those things and you can stand true to that, when you start your club, don't make it about just fishing tournaments. Teach people to catch more fish. That's the first thing I told people when I had the first meeting for the club. We had 32 guys show up to the meeting. 30 of those 32 joined the club that night. They didn't even have a bank account yet, but they joined. And I told people, we're going to teach you to catch more fish. If you're not interested in teaching people to catch more fish, this is not going to be a good club for you, and you're not going to have fun. You're going to get aggravated. You may as well leave. And we've stood true to that. Stand true to your word. Do what you say you're going to do. We've taught so many people to be more consistent on the water and catch more fish day in and day out. because they're members of that club and because we share information, because we're open and we share. And there's probably going to be a million people on here that tell you they agree because a lot of the people on here are in the club. Okay. So those are the things that I can tell you. Those what's worked for us. The things that don't work for us or didn't work for us, you've got to stay away from. Don't get dragged in a rabbit hole, because there will be some people that try to drag you in a rabbit hole of junk. The best way, this is where you get out of a lot of stuff. You just tell them, we'll vote on it. I mean, when you have somebody come to you with a problem or a concern or a want to change this, want to change that, vote on it, let the members speak, and then move on. Those are the things I can tell you. That's the advice I can give you. So if you have anything else, you can message me. We'll get together. I'd be happy to share with you how I did anything else or whatnot. But if you need anything else, let me know. All right. Todd Pell, what jig size is best for dock shooting? So you're going to get a lot of different comments on this. You're going to get some that, are going to tell you a 16th. You get some that tell you a 32nd, a 64th. A 64th to me is too light. You can't get enough distance on your shot. A 32nd for me is the perfect weight because I get the distance, but I also get the slow fall. So I get a slow fall on my jig to where it gives those fish time to react to that jig as it's falling. That would be my perfect jig, is a 32nd. That's what I shoot docks with 95% of the time, unless I've got current. If I've got a lot of current, then I'll go to a 16th, or if I'm fishing really deep. So fish are 20 feet, 25 feet under a dock, then I'll go to a 16th so that my jig gets down there to the fish quicker, because it's aggravating waiting half a minute for your 32nd ounce jig to get 20 feet deep. But most of the time I'm using a 32nd ounce. Tyrone says, what is the best line for bonehead tackle and jig heads, weights, hook size? Thanks. For bonehead tackle, I prefer, like I said, I use that vicious 4-pound test. If I'm shooting docks, it's that vicious 4-pound, that vicious panfish 4-pound test in high vis yellow. That's my dock shooting line. It's a mono. And then again, if I'm fishing brush, it's the B Power 12-pound bonehead braid in orange. That's the line that I use for those. Or if I'm doing vertical, if I'm vertical jigging, if I'm doing anything other than shooting docks, I'm using braid. Okay. I do tie a leader on my braid. I tie that with it's an 8-pound vicious fluorocarbon, straight fluorocarbon, 100%. Okay, 100% fluoro, 8-pound, and it's clear. So that's to hide the braid. I mean, they can't see fluoro, they can see braid. Crappie aren't line sensitive, but sometimes I wonder. So I do tie a fluorocarbon leader onto my braid. Jig head and hook size. Jig head isn't as, I mean, you can use just about any jig head, but a number 2 hook is what you're looking for, Tyrone. A number 2 hook is where it's at, because a number 2 hook is going to allow you to run that hook all the way through a stump bug body and come right out in front of the beaver tail, the center tail. It's going to get that hook all the way to the back of the jig, which is what I like. I like to get to the back of the jig. So a number 2 hook is what I'm looking for. All right, guys, let's give away some jigs. Who's ready? Who's ready? Anybody want some jiggies? All right, so let me tell you guys first how to claim your jigs, okay? And if you don't win tonight, okay, and you want some MCM tackle jigs, go to their website. Go to their Facebook page, because they don't have a website. Go to their Facebook page, all right, or Instagram, right there, MCM Tackle. Go to their Facebook page, check them out, message them, get a price from them. I'm telling you, as far as hair jigs are concerned, they've got the price right, all right? They've got it right, MCM Tackle on Facebook. Go get you some jigs, guys, okay? They're a small company. It's basically a husband and wife that are just trying to make a little extra selling some jigs. That's basically what you got. Okay. They are down to earth, good people, and they've got a great product. I mean, their jigs, like you saw earlier, their jigs are the real deal. They know how to tie jigs, and they're very, very high quality. So, and good price. So go check them out. MCM Tackle on Facebook. We're going to give away some to claim those. You have to go and message them. Okay. Their email is on here too. So if you don't have Facebook, quail_farmer@hotmail.com. Okay. Was that spelled wrong? Hotmail, MAIL, right? Isn't that? Yeah. Hotmail. Okay. Quail Farmer. Hotmail.com. That's spelled wrong. I'm gonna tell him that too. I'm gonna call him and be like, "Do you know?" All right. So to claim those, I will send him your name from tonight. Okay. He will have your names, and then you just message him and say, "I'm so and so." He is going to make sure all your stuff lines up. All right. And he watches these lives, so he'll know. Don't try to sneak in on us, but message him. He will ask you what it is you're looking for. You can look at his colors on his website. You can tell him what you want, and then he will hook you up. All right. So half a dozen, you will get, each winner will get half a dozen hair jigs. He'll tie those for you and mail them to you free of charge. All right. So let's see. We're going to do this right now. Number 1 to 50, guys. Give me a number 1 to 50. First one to get it wins. I'm writing it down. All right, I got it. Go. 1 to 50. Dum, 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 dum. Hadn't seen it yet. Still hadn't seen it. Nothing yet. Oh, I've seen some so close. So close. Close, but not on it. Ooh, another close one. Gosh, so close. This is fun for me, just watching you guys. And the comments just roll in, just like left and right. First one I see, guys. I'm still looking. Somebody's had to have had it by now. Nope, not yet. Oh, my thing's about to jump. I can tell you it's about to jump. Still nothing. Man, I picked a good one. Oh, it's a solid number. Jamie, 49.9999999. Nope. No, that ain't it. It's a solid number, guys. No half numbers tonight. It is a solid number. I'm surprised nobody's got it yet. I like this number. I'm going to start picking this up number more often. It's a good number. All right, if somebody doesn't get it here in a second, I'm going to give it to you. That's funny. At this point, I have so many comments that if I miss one, I'm sorry. All right. Still hadn't seen it. Oh, crap. It just jumped. Oh, crap. Where's that 49.1? 49.999. Where's it at? All right, stop. Stop, guys. Please, for the love of goodness. Stop. I seen it. First one I seen. Where'd it go? Oh, don't tell me I lost it. Nope. There it is. Jamie Nelson. 31. Jamie Nelson. Congratulations, Jamie. You won the first half dozen MCM tackle jigs. I got to go down and figure out who my last comment was. Goodness gracious. You guys are nuts. All right. Everybody stop. I'm going to give it a second for it to quit coming through. Jamie Nelson says, sweet. Congratulations, Jamie. All right. I'm going to write another number down. Hang on, guys. Don't start commenting yet because y'all don't know what I'm going to say as far as what numbers to go through. Ron Hall's already on a mission. I'm going to write another number down. Hang on. All right, guys. 1 to 50. Go. 1 to 50. We're going to do 1 to 50. I should say 0 to 50. Throw a 0 in there on you guys. I think that would be funny. You guys might not think that's funny. What I may do is just say, all right, give me a number up to 50 and then throw a 0 in on you guys. That'd be funny. But don't y'all think that'd be funny? I think that'd be funny. All right, stop. Stop. I see it. Stop. Stop. Please, for the love of goodness. All right, let's see. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Crappie Kev. I told y'all guys I was going to do 31. I said I need to do 31 more often. I need to do this number more often. Well, I did it again. 31 again. Congratulations, Crappie Kev. MCM Tackle, guys. Check them out on Facebook. Pick yourself up some jigs. Like I said, if you didn't win tonight, please go look at their jigs. Go get you some jigs. They're really, really high quality, guys. They really are. They do a great job and they're priced right. So check them out. Make a great product. I've done a video with them. Guys, they catch fish, and he really does tie good jigs. So go check them out. That will help them out. I love helping these small businesses, guys, and, you know, get some product moving for them. So go check them out. And support our small businesses, if you will. Let's see. Anybody has any more comments for tonight real quick? Jamie said, that's funny. Bo said, ha ha ha, congrats, guys. Ronnie said, be praying for you and your family. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate it. Oh, it's up here. Thank you, Ronnie. All right, guys. We're going to call it a night. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for participating in the lives. I promise I'm going to try to do better here in the coming weeks to get here before 9 and get everything set up. But I hope everyone has a safe, blessed, wonderful, fabulous week, which Heidi just commented. So we'll let Heidi send everybody off tonight. Everyone have a safe, blessed, fabulous week. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Tell a friend about Wired for Crappie, guys. Try to tell a friend. Try to tell a fishing buddy about Wired for Crappie this week. Let's get to 10,000 so I can give away a fishing trip. 10,000 subscribers. Tell everybody, tell your friends to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget the Crappie Cove Crappie Academy coming on September the 19th. It's going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to it. I always enjoy teaching at Crappie Cove. So see you guys later. Y'all have a good week. God bless. We'll see you next week.